To the sports argument. Hey, are we on? Everybody in? Hey, let's have some fun, baby. To the sports argument. I'm with Abe Finklestein along with a day and night, baby. We're bringing you sports. No need for a lot of introductions. We should get right into this. This is what people want to see. All right? We call this a sports argument because it is a sports argument. The day, you ready?
My name. Let's get down to business.
All right, let's get into it. I overheard you talking, and you said Howie Roseman is a weasel. You want to explain that? The guy who's done for this team? You want to explain
Easy. Howie Roseman, he's a weasel. Enough said. Do I got to expand upon that?
This is the guy who brought us the ball and brought us the players to get to that ball. What are you talking about?
Look, the man gets credit for that. I'm going to give him credit for 2017. He made a couple lucky moves. It's not like he went out planning to bring on some of these guys. He got lucky that Blount was still available. He did pick up, what's his name, Jay Ajayi. That worked out. Yay.
Yeah.
I want to say that the man won a Super Bowl. Respect for that. But since then, the team where it's at right now is all his fault. It falls solely on him unless you add Jeffrey Lurie to the mix. They've messed up this Eagles. Another reason why we're a last place team in a weak division. It's embarrassing, and he's the fault.
Whoa. You know what? You guys in these sports shows kill me. You get all up in your feelings, and then now Howie Roseman, not the big 300-pound guys on the field, huh? Not the Carson Wentz's and those guys. They don't get it. The Sean Jackson.
He put the 300-pound guys on the field that are old. The salary cap is in hell right now. We're so far over the cap. Only the Saints are worse. And once Drew Brees retires, if he retires, we'll be the worst team cap-wise, and it's Howie Roseman's fault.
You're the worst team when you just unloaded $25 million of Carson. What are you talking about?
But Carson has a dead cap hit this year. It's the worst dead cap ever. No one has ever taken a bigger dead cap than Carson Wentz, and that is Howie Roseman's fault 100%.
Howie Roseman's fault. You know what? Did you say that from the comfort of your home? But would you say it to his face? No. You would sit back and quarterback couch. Everybody wants to. They're so brilliant. You couldn't do it.
I look forward to saying it to his face, but I can't see his face because I'm 6'1", and he's a little weasel, and he runs under the table. He's scared, and he hides.
Wow.
Look at the cat. Look at the cat. Look at all the old people. Like it or not, guess what? People get old. Here's the shocker. When you're 24, you're probably better as an athlete than you are at 33. And if you keep signing these old guys to long-term contracts, guys with injury history, long-term contracts, we're stuck with these old players who are on the field. And we don't have any young players. Name a young player, maybe Miles Sanders, that's worth a damn team. None.
And you're putting this solely on Howie Roseman. And he brought this team in here. He brought in the talent. But the execution comes to Doug, baby. Doug had to do it, and then the players had to do it. Something happened, and I don't know, some kind of dichotomy, the locker room, the energy. But Howie Roseman has done his job. I mean, the capital we had for these drafts, you know, in drafting people, he did 10.2% better than what he expected. And everybody he's drafted, 66% of the people he's drafted has a job today in the NFL. The man's good at what he does. 66% of the people he drafted still have a job. That makes him third in the league in drafting. The Eagles are the third best drafting team in the league.
Did you get your information from HowieRoseman.com?
Wow.
That is not the answer. Look at his 2020 draft. Here's his first round pick, 2020. Everyone knew. There was a guy who did mock drafts and said he would mock Justin Jefferson to the Eagles and then start the mock draft. Everyone knew we were taking Justin Jefferson. He goes and he's smarter than everybody and takes Jalen Reagor. Justin Jefferson has all-time great rookie season. In the second round, his assistants were pushing for Chen, who was a safety, or Dobbins, a running back. He's smarter than both of them, takes Hurts.
Okay.
And we could have really used the safety because you saw how bad the secondary was, and now we have this quarterback controversy. We would have had better players around Carson Wentz to make him better if Howie did his damn job. But last year's draft, everyone was yelling, take DK Metcalf. He outsmarted the league again, and he took J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. What the hell is a J.J. Arcega-Whiteside? That's embarrassing. And it's his fault.
Let me tell you what that guy is. Let me tell you what when you get a guy like that, It gives you cap money. Moves.
No,
Roseman's been doing this since
no,
he's
no.
9 years old. This guy was doing mock drafts. And
J.J. Whiteside.
let me tell you about Roseman. His mom didn't let him play football or wrestling. He started doing mock drafts at 8 years old. He's the real deal. He's the best thing we've had as far as keeping us afloat. As far as
That's
the
what
talent
it is.
is something with Philly. We only can win but so much, baby, and then we fall apart. And then you want to look for a scapegoat. And the
If he
scapegoat
was doing
just
mocks
left
since he was 8, how come
scapegoat
he's
just
not good
left.
at it? If he was doing mocks since the age of 8, how come he's not good at it? Look, how come we got all these old players that are breaking down? Look, it's nice. You like guys.
You're
You want to
blaming
give
their
them
body. How you
long-term
blame their
contracts.
body on him? Are you gonna blame their bodies on Roseman?
If you resign them, yes. Look at the Phillies. Do you remember the late Phillies? We held on Utley, Howard, Rollins too long. The Phillies are still
Right,
recovering. They're
right.
still recovering. You can't even say they fully recovered now, even though because they're not a guaranteed playoff team this year. They're iffy playoff team this year, and it's 2021. We're talking about guys from 2012 who should have been let go, and it's taken this long to recover because they didn't have young players and they re-signed old players that they should have moved on from. The Eagles do not have young players, and they're re-signing these old people. We're stuck with old contracts.
But
When
according
it comes to
this,
the draft, they're still the what has he done
whole
in the
league does
draft?
the whole league does it. Who do you now? You give me the teams that's been able to keep moving on and flipping freshly. Everyone does this. Am I right?
No.
Okay. Oh, but
There's people who have.
you're gonna tell me Finkelstein's not right, huh?
There's ups and downs. Finkelstein is not right. Fix the tie.
Yeah.
It's not right today. You look at someone like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're able to just draft good receivers constantly. There's good organizations, and there's the Lions. There's good organization. There's the Bengals.
Did I see them in the Super Bowl? We have a Super Bowl before they have a Super Bowl. Who had the last Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Steelers? The Eagles did.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh had 6, got to a couple more. We just won one a few years ago. Howie gets the credit for that. The only thing I'll give Howie, look at the 2017 draft. Derek Barnett, Sidney Jones, Russell Douglas. Sidney Jones, Russell Douglas is no longer here. Someone I can blame because you can't put it all on Howie. Look at Jim Schwartz because Sidney Jones had his best season when he went to another team last year. Russell Douglas played well on another team last year. Guys who left, L.J. Fort, he was brought in, didn't get no time by Schwartz, left, and started to play pretty well. So you can say he's brought in a few players, but they weren't properly used by Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz is out of here. Now it's all on Howie. But with his last couple drafts, do you really want to test and say, hey, Howie's going to get it right this time when he hasn't got it right the last few times? This is the NFL. You're not supposed to get this many chances to fail. For some reason, he keeps getting chances to fail because he succeeded one time. One time you won a Super Bowl. And let's be honest, it was damn. They lost the
Super Bowl.
Carson Wentz was going to be the MVP of the league, right? If Carson Wentz doesn't get hurt, he's the MVP of the league. He gets hurt. They bring in Foles. The first playoff round, they had to bye thanks to Carson Wentz. Round 2, they played the Falcons. They lost that game. Foles threw an interception, but it hits the guy's helmet or knee. And somehow caught and ran for a first down. They fumbled on the goal line, but
shoulda,
was able to land on it.
You make good points, Mr. Days. You make good points, baby. You know, that's a bunch of coulda, woulda, shoulda. You're saying this could have happened, that could happen. Let me tell you something, though, baby. Because this team that the Eagles you see now has been blown apart. I just did a report on the website, abefinklestein.com. Well, Eagles put dynamite and completely blew it up. Now, everybody knows that. You know Finklestein differently. And I'm telling you, now that this team is going forward, it's going to be the result of what Howie does. So when the comes,
what it is right now. Look what it is right now. What it is right now. What do they have? What do they have going forward? What am I looking forward to?
What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, please enlighten me. Please, because I can name young guys on the Flyers. Fairby's playing out of his mind. Konechny's still good. You know,
this year, as far as players and numbers, okay, before I even get into that or look into it heavily, I will say that whatever happens this year will be a result of what Howie Roseman did and the team, and Jeffrey Lurie supports him because whatever, he says he does. There's something going on with those guys, and they love each other. But whatever he says, he does. So now let's say moving forward, this team, what they do in the NFC East, which is just so tight and so hard, and then COVID came and took a lot of energy. So you blow the team up, and you got to start over, so to speak. And when you start over, who is it? Who does it come down to? Once again, it'll be the genius of Howie Roseman, the same genius that brought us that Super Bowl, the same genius that brought us Carson Wentz, baby. And you want to sit there and you want to play your little games like all that.
Wentz, the guy he just traded, he brought in a second-round pick that could have used the player to help Carson Wentz. Instead, you brought in Hurts, so we don't know if he's actually good or not. But you traded Carson Wentz away for a cool third-round pick, and you might also get a first-round pick next year. But Howie Roseman,
because he knows something we don't know.
Roseman knows something. That picks you got, come on, man.
He knows something we don't know about.
The question is, whose fault is this?
Well, Carson Wentz, he knows something about that country boy that we don't know. He knows something, baby, and we don't know it, but they know it, and everybody's out in the dark. Something's going on with Carson Wentz. They had to get him the hell out of here and let him go. He needs to go to Indianapolis because he needs those damn shoes, the lucky shoe horns, whatever that is.
I'll say this about Carson Wentz, and then I'll leave him alone because he's gone. He's not our issue anymore. When I saw him playing,
not me. I don't have that kind of class.
I was like, hey, the Eagles finally got that guy. We finally got our Brady, our Rodgers, our Manning. He felt like he could have been that guy. His second year in the league looked like he was going to be the MVP.
Yeah.
But then you saw there was moments he looked great, and then there's moments he looked bad. And he would be in a lot of bad situations early on in his career, but he was able to get out of it with dynamic plays, good third down plays. And last year he didn't have them plays. He just looked bad.
Yeah.
And when it was time for him to step up and be that Carson, he couldn't. Maybe it's the back. Maybe it's the concussions. Maybe he was just overrated because we wanted something more since we never
we wanted our Brady, we wanted our Manning. We wanted that.
That was the closest to greatness that we had, so we hoped it maybe with Carson, but the reality, he wasn't the answer. But it's all, whether you say Wentz or you say Wentz had to go, whatever your answer is, Howie Roseman drafted Carson Wentz, gave up a lot to get him, and then he shipped them off for a lot less than he gave up. I like the deal because the deal won a championship. But come on.
Keep talking about that because he did guy in 2016.
They could have easily lost to the Falcons, but they didn't. Woulda, could. I'll give you that. They won. That's all that matters. They trashed the Vikings, and then they had an epic. Nick Foles played the best game of his life. You know what happened again because you saw what he did with Jacksonville. You saw what he did with Chicago. He's not that good. He has good moments, but he's not a good player, and he just shined, thank goodness, in the game that mattered the most for him and for us. So
let me get you Let me give you. Sorry, Dana. Let me give you because in context of what you were saying, the point. So I'm saying, Roseman in 2016, the Eagles leveraged significant draft capital to move up and select franchise quarterback Carson Wentz. So even after the move up, the Eagles still walked away with a starting left guard, Isaac Samolo, still in the league, right? A backup
starting left guard,
starter, Big V, a long-term cornerback, and now Jalen Mills, who I believe is still in the league. And,
he's still with us, sadly. He's not for long if lucky. He's not good.
Yeah, but so let me say this because this has been a good argument. Let me say this, and we'll get up out of here and we'll get another topic and get back at you guys. So the way I see it is the days you ask your father for, I want the new racetrack. I want the new PS5, and then every time you ask him, he gets it for you. And then you fuck it up. You break the PS5. You break the iPad. And then you keep blaming your father. So you can come in all you want.
Howie Roseman. All right. Howie Roseman's dad.
Problem, baby.
Howie Roseman gave me a PS5. But when I put PS5 games in it, it didn't work. And when they opened the console, it was actually a PS3 with a PS5 body. That's what Howie Roseman has the Eagles. We're a PS3 and a PS5 body. We're an NFL team, but we don't look like one. We're the last place team in the worst division in the league. It's not like we're in the NFC West where you got the Niners, Seattle, Cardinals, Rams, where if you come in last in that division, you could still be a decent team because there's
Right.
monsters in that division. We got garbage. We had a Dakless Cowboy, Washington football team, which I love the name. I hope they keep it. But they stink. Giants stink. Didn't even have Barkley. They all had new coaches. We were supposed to run away with the division because we had the only team coming back with the same quarterback and same coach through Corona was supposed to help us. Dead stinking last in the worst division in football.
All right. Okay. That's look.
All else I can say.
There's closing arguments. I would say I have one more thing to say because I didn't know he was going to say that. Mateus is currently in a mental institution right now, and he's been lobotomized. So we don't know where he's getting his information from. There you go. I got the last word, baby. But all right, sports argument, baby. We got more stuff to come. Check us out on Facebook. Abe Vegas 711 on Instagram and Facebook, Abe Finklestein. Check out A Day Is Night on Instagram, the website, abefinklestein.com, and start looking for sports argument. All right? So we'll see you next time. I'm Abe Finklestein, the king of sports news and humor. Hey, Deus, you out of here, baby?
Sports Argument YouTube. Check us out. We're coming with a lot of action.
There you go. See you next time, baby.